Good morning, YouTube. I'm so glad this morning because this right here is the third and final, for now, trailer load of trash that we hauled out of that big old hole down at the other property. Welcome back to Wiki Up Knoll. It's becoming more and more beautiful by the minute, by the trailer load out here. I wanted to just give you this quick update. We do have a little bit more surface trash over the entire property that we bought down there, but that can be hauled out at a later time. We're going to try to get this one out today. We're going to a bigger town nearby because our local dump isn't open today. This is the last one out of the hole that we were excavating, the dump hole that we found. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. You can see there's like big old soup cans, buckets, Christmas wreath, hoses, things that would fit in a trash can, like what in the world? What in the world? We're not going to get into it again. So also some like would have been probably perfectly usable stuff. This is a bed rail. Like, come on. Anyway, we're done with this saga. I'm so excited to show you what it looks like down there now. It's been days and days and days and days of digging and sorting and all of that stuff. Didn't want to bore you with any more of that, but this is it. This is the last of that. John's going to come up here in a little bit and cover this with a larger tarp, and we're going to get it cinched down better for the actual road. This we just brought up from the other side of the property, just kind of tied it down last night because we were tired. So today we're going to really cover it and get it tied all down, and then that is the end of it. I will show you when we get back some of the work we got done down there that got the hole filled in and got the driveway put in a little better. I did run out of fuel, so we have to go finish a couple of things down there, but it's looking much, much better. I feel much better because there's not a landfill there anymore. It's at the actual landfill that's prescribed for this reason. So we'll be working on that today. We have an appointment in town after we take our final trailer load, and then we'll be back at it probably through tomorrow on this video, working on more progress. We've gotten some things done around the house area. We filled in those gaps around our bags. We're ready to start some bag work over there. We've got the pole barn to work on, and of course the chicken coop and all of those things. So thanks for joining us back at Wiki Up Knoll again on this very exciting day for me to be the last trailer load of junk going to the actual dump. I'm so excited about that. So hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. We will check back a little bit later and see what we get into today. Alrighty, we're back down at the other end of the property. This is what used to be the trash hole. It's amazing. It's so amazing. I still actually have a little bit of dirt left over. There was an enormous pile of dirt right here. And then this pile went from basically, you couldn't see that pole. It went up, and this pole was also hidden, and it went all the way over to here. You can see where I've scraped it back. So my goal with this, of course, I've filled it in. Once we got everything out of it, we filled it back in. I'm sure this will settle down more because it's not wet right now. So we'll be working on letting that settle. Some of this I'll reserve for that. But the other part of it, I'm going to be putting on kind of this road bed that I'm making. I'm putting in, you can see where the truck's parked down there. That's the gate. We are now able to pull in here, use the driveway I've made, park in here, turn around, be off of the side of the road and everything, which was the goal. And then ultimately we want this to be our driveway that can come in through this area and access all the way up and over back into the other parts of the property. So I'll be today kind of going through here. There's just a couple of little cat claws I have to trim and take out. The road will go through this way. My goal today is to get through this little section and try to transplant this yucca and a couple of different things. Like this is a well, there's my shadow, you can't see it. This is actually not alive anymore. I can't transplant it, but this is a cool plant. It's cholla. I like to transplant them when I find it, but they're neat when they dry out. You actually can sell these on eBay when they dry out because this goes in aquariums for lizards and things like that. So tons of that around. They're cool little plants, but I'm gonna take out these cat claw right here. My favorite little nuisance invasive plant here. The mesquites will be leaving. This is a mesquite. And then the road I'm gonna bring up will go right through this old post, which I'm gonna try to take that post out and reuse it as like a gate post somewhere. So I'll be trying to dig that out. I think there's concrete in there if I can get down that far. If not, we'll have to get down as far as we can and cut it so that we can reuse the post for a gate post tie off thing. So I want the road to come up to here today and then hopefully stop. I can show you a little bit more of what we've taken out on the property. There's still, like I said, some surface trash that we'll be getting to later on. This used to be an auto body repair shop back in the 30s and 40s. So there's a lot of that stuff around, even without the personal dumping ground that it had become. There is a ruin here, which was abandoned sometime in the 30s or 40s. And there was stuff in it, still is stuff in it. People have pilfered through it over the years. And you know, we got to get that out. So there's still, like, this is old fencing we'll be hauling out at some point. This is some of the stuff we got out of the hole that wouldn't fit on the last load. And I thought, well, we've got more loads out here. So you can see this is an old spring mattress here. Some of this stuff would be neat to make into, if I can learn to weld. Anybody out there want to teach me how to weld? It'd be kind of fun to use some of these things as little sculptural elements. But then there's stuff that's clearly just needs to be hauled away. But this is at least no longer in a giant hole. It's no longer, you know, a problem like that, but we can come and gather it off the surface and take it away. So see, there's other things. These are like, this is, I think this is like old car seats from back in the day. Sometimes there's little trees grown up into these. They're out here all over the place, so we'll be getting that. There's some more old roofing metal, an old desk or cabinet back there that we've got to get the tractor and pull it out with. So we're working on that. I'll be doing, John's filling up the fuel. I ran out of fuel. I'll be doing that today. And then John's gonna be working, or we're gonna be together on some of these blocks that have fallen off of the building. We're going to try to repurpose into curbing for the little driveway we're making. And some of this adobe has recently fallen out. You can see there, it came out of this section between the windows. So that's fresh fall. And those things, it's not going to last forever, those little adobe blocks, but we'll still try to I'd like to stack them up as curbing along the roadway, just to keep ourselves from hitting trees and different things. When you're in the there goes a car. When you're in the car, some of the trees that we've trimmed back that we're keeping along the road, it's hard to see them. So we want to kind of put like some curb areas here and help with some drainage, water mitigation, because you can see maybe that this is a low area, so there'll be water coming through here. So we're going to try to strategically place some of those old rocks and blocks and things as well. So I'll be continuing to work on the driveway up there, going on up through there beyond this former trash hole, and John will be helping out with that and putting blocks out and all of that stuff. So hope you enjoy the video. I'll put you on a little time lapse so you can watch it fast, and then we'll check back in a little bit later and look at the finished product and see what else we get into today. Okay, that was the time lapse, was taking out these cat claws. It's so dry out right now, you get to a certain point, you can't really get them any further. So John comes in with the big loppers and we cut the root at the bottom. They often do try to come back. So I've got them all ready to cut. And the coolest thing, I don't know if you can see this in the light, I found a piece, come on, focus. I found a piece of azurite. And I know what this is because I went to the mining museum nearby. Highly recommend. So cool. I'm very excited about this. right there laying on the ground. I could make some jewelry out of that. That's so awesome. So good find. I'm right here, almost to the end. The next step, we're actually leaving this tree and these mesquites over here. These are mesquites, and I'm going to take out that pole and that cat claw. Can't see it because my hand's in the way. But so we're going to do some trimming for a little bit, and then get up to that pole and turn that way, and that'll be the end of today's driveway. At some point, the driveway will split off kind of at this pole and go up and over. I'll make it like a turnaround area right here for that side, because the property goes back and over that way as well as back that way. It's a neat property. It's really neat. We were walking around earlier. I found an old like 1930s refrigerator. It's all rusted, but I think we can still put something neat in it. I'll have to try to show it to you if it's not over here actually. It's on the other side. So I'll show you that another time. But the property goes further back. And eventually there is an old roadbed right there that we'll basically tap into from here and make our driveway back there. But today's job is just to get to the pole and make a turnaround. And then there's a deep, steep ravine which goes to a really cool wash and all sorts of old stuff in the wash, which is really fun to explore, especially after a wash run. So goes back, you might recognize that mountain. That's closer up to where my house site is, and you can't see it now, but essentially right over here where my finger's pointing is kind of where that old cistern that used to be the swimming pool is. And I don't know if you can tell, I'll just show you sometime. I'm gonna try to get it on the film right now. Way up on this other knoll, if you can see it, way up there, right there in the trees is a ruin. It's a little rock ruin, and it's a different ruin. That one's, let's see if I can get in it. There it is. Hopefully you can see it. That is the old assay office from the mining town that used to be here. So that would have been where miners and people that would find stuff in the mines and they wanted to get a value on it, or they'd find a place, they'd be digging out here and they'd be like, oh, I found the mother lode, this is awesome. And they would want to stake a claim, but they'd go to the assay office to get a value on their on the thing they found. So they would have, like, you know, he was sort of like a chemist in there, and he would test it and get the quality of everything and see how it was and tell him yes or no. And if he's a crooked guy, he'd be like, oh, where'd you find this? And then, oh, it's worthless, you shouldn't keep it, and that kind of thing. Some old West stories are trying to kind of born out of that stuff. So that's a pretty neat thing. One day maybe we'll get to go up there and see that on video. It's a cool little building. But right now, today's project is getting this road through. So you can kind of see where John is and beyond. There's my forks down there on the for the tractor, and the road kind of goes down and around that way. So that's what we're doing. That's how it's going. I'll pick you back up in a minute and show you after we get to our goal spot. Alrighty, welcome back again to the new driveway update. We have gotten all the little trees out. You can see the road goes up to where I wanted to. There used to be a pole sitting right there, so we got that out. I did have to break it off again. I don't know. They're really strong metal poles. The two I had to take out. They're really deep. I never got to any concrete, but then they just bent and wouldn't come out. So we did our best. It's definitely a couple feet underground now, the broken point, which was right there. So now we have the driveway starting this way toward that side of the property. And then we have the driveway ready to go this way through that side of the property. So I think it's looking good. It's nice and solid. I've driven over it a bunch of times. There's a lot of small rock in here, which is nice and useful. We've gotten some of the, I think you can see down here in the curve, we made like a curve to the road, and we kind of made sort of like a curb out of the old pieces from the adobe structure that is fallen down. So you can kind of tell, hopefully see where the road is a little better now. And that is the update. This is looking good. I drove over it a little more even just to see if it would compact. Like I said, when it starts to rain, it'll get more settled in, I'm sure. So I do have a teeny bit more dirt over here that I can put on it as time goes on. But for right now, you can hear the cars go by. This is the new driveway in. We can get in here. We have plenty of room to move around now, turn around, bring a trailer, do what we need to do. Hopefully we'll be building this up even a little more over time with, you know, landscaping and whatever else, and we'll be able to come on in and meander around in here as needed. At the rest of this video, we are going to go back up to the house site and be working up there on some bags and different things that we need to keep on working on. So I hope you'll remain with the video and join us up there in just a few minutes. Good morning, YouTube. These guys are doing their dig. This is their favorite spot to dig. I'm gonna have to pull them away. New day, same video. Sun's coming up. It's gonna be bright and beautiful, and we're gonna spend. Oh, there goes Loretta sees it. Did you see the jackrabbit run across the road? That was pretty cute. Yeah, she stands up when she sees something. Hilarious. Anyway, it's okay, Loretta. We're gonna keep going. You don't get to eat a rabbit. That's not a good idea. That rabbit's as big as you. We have two kinds of rabbits here. We have jackrabbits and we have whitetail rabbits. And those jackrabbits are big. Very cute. Okay, Loretta. Okay. I know you see it. She's desperate to go find it. Anyway, we're going to keep on keeping on. I'm going to keep these guys on the road here with me on the driveway. We're going to bask in the new sunshine. And today we're going to be working on bag work. I believe I'm going to be mostly focused on the pole barn this morning. So we'll see how it goes after we get our breakfast and everybody's fed and walked and all the chores are done. Then we'll get into that. Ran a light yesterday after we did that dirt work over at the other end of the property on the new side. So anyway, hope you're enjoying the video so far. We're gonna keep on with this. I'm trying to keep Loretta with me. She is focused. She's a stone cold killer. I know she doesn't look like it, but she is. She's a stone cold killer. Hope you're enjoying the video. We'll talk again shortly. All right, we are in the pole barn as I expected. I'm working on the rubble layer. I spent some time earlier gathering rocks from, there's actually a little ridge line right over there beyond the dog run that's pretty rocky. So it's nice I can use these rocks in here and they're free. Super great. But I've done one rubble layer. As you can see, I got to add a little bit more on this side and some smaller pieces in some of the crevices now, but that's fairly level. I want it to be level with the top of the little pier, essentially. It doesn't have to be perfectly level because when you put the first couple layers of bags, it squishes in and then you can't move it anyway. The purpose of this layer is to allow drainage if any moisture were to get in this wall through the plaster that will be on the finished outside or from sheet flow across the surface. It would have an area to drain out and it wouldn't soak the soil in the bag and make it sag and then thus make the wall fail. So we want to have if you're doing cob or adobe or any kind of earthen structure, you want to have a barrier essentially between the dirt of the bags and the dirt of the ground. This is my thinnest layer. You can't see most of it now. Showed it in another video because it's squished into that bottom couple layers of bag. But it's about 2 inches thick or deep or whatever high, and then it gets higher as the building goes around. So there'll be more of that over there. The ground slopes off slightly in that direction. This area that way is more like top of the ridge line, and there is a slight grade this way. So we might get some flow across here, but just in case any water, like I said, were to get inside the wall from rain coming sideways or whatever, it would have a place to drain, and then it prevents some of that possibility of failure in the wall. So I'm going to keep doing that. Don't need to see more of that on time lapse. I'm going to try to get all the way around to these two sections today and then start bag work. I left off right here. I'm going to finish this bag. I'm going to put in a couple of cleats. I'll show that on video when I do it. And I have also come out here and attach those landscape nails or staples to through the chicken wire or stucco mesh to the bag. This one, it's so hard. I couldn't get it all the way in anymore, so I bent it over. You could do this with nails or whatever. You can see the other one I put over here, and it just kind of firms up this mesh to the wall as I make it. So I'll be doing that periodically throughout the wall on all the sides in here as I go. And I'm gonna just keep on going. And I'll jump in a little bit when I start doing bag work and show you how we're going so far. You can see it's a slight dip still. I'm going to build this up just a little bit more with some small stuff and then move on to the next section and the next section. And then the final section is going to be over here. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Okay, you just saw me make another mix. I'm using half clay, half this sandy, rocky clay that we have, and some water to make it the clumpable texture, like moist dirt, so that I can pack it and it'll dry in place. And then John's over here working on his ladders. This is for the back side. Hey. He already got the ones done for the front side, and when he gets the back side, we're gonna hang them up. So he's working on that. And then you saw on time lapse, I'm over here doing the bags. They're going really well. I'm probably gonna finish out another couple reel barrels full on this wall. My goal is to get up, like I said, on this wall above by a few, maybe a foot above the dog door area, and then use the bags, what I have left, to evenly get around the other walls. I also earlier got my rubble layer here, so I have 2 more cells done, and I have 2 more to go. I ran out of rocks right here, and I just didn't have the heart to go gather more today. There's Jack, so fierce and ferocious. But anyways, I'm going here. I've got to go this distance, and then between these 2 posts, which I can't get to right now anyway. So that's basically almost there. You may have seen me on the video installing a cleat. That's this section here, using scrap lumber. I put a 2x4 attached to the beam, and then a piece of OSB here, and it has nails down and screws up so that it ties in the bag. It'll be embedded in it, and it'll also be tied to the wall. It's just another measure to tie something into the wall. As I get up probably 1 more layer, I'm gonna put some wood pieces just in the bags, between the bags sticking out, so that I'll have things to nail things to, so I can do some interior framing for organization and different things like that. I'll have something to, attach a wood screw to. So you'll see little bits of lumber, just scrap lumber, just kind of wedged in there. So we always keep our little scraps because they're useful. And the cleat looks like this. I cut up one of these smaller pieces of 2x4 we use on another project, and I cut up some OSB, and I screwed the 2x4 to the OSB, and then I put some screws facing up, just like it sounds, like a cleat, like on a baseball field or a football field. And then you attach it to your lumber, your framing member, and then you hammer in nails down into the bag where you want that to be. So I'll be doing that for this row as well. It'll tie it in, and I'll do it every so often up the wall while we're doing bags. So I'll keep on doing that, and then John's gonna keep on building ladders over here. And then we will check back in a little while to show you the progress. So I won't bore you with more time lapse or anything like that. We'll just keep on going and show you what we got done for the day. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. Jack sure is over there. He is letting me know this is riveting content right now. Super good dog for guarding things, isn't he? All right, Jack. Super good dog. Yep. I swear he is alive. We'll check back with you in a few minutes. Okay, just got the eggs. I had 2 from this morning. This is pretty good for low light time of year, right, Jack? What do you think? See, he lives, I promise. That was his spot. He's helping me. So I thought I'd show you where we got to today, all of the progress that we made, and close out the video. We got a lot done today. I got 4 layers on the, hold on, let me put the eggs down and close the gate because this won't do. Can't leave it open. This guy will follow me everywhere, won't you, cute fella? Okay, so we got 4 layers of the wall up, and that's about as much as I want to go on the bags because they'll get a little wobbly if you don't. So got that done. I got the 2 bays of rocks. I got to go gather more rocks for tomorrow, and then hopefully by tomorrow these will be firm enough to add more layers. I did get another cleat put in over here. You can see what it looks like without a bag on top of it. So when the bag comes over it, of course, it cleats in top and bottom, and it ties it into the wall framing here. So that'll go every so often, and it's looking pretty good. I like this. It's very firm. It's not firm when you're doing it. That's why I don't want to go too high with it, but it's nice and plumb and straight and solid. I like it. And John is just about done over here.
Got them ready.
Woohoo!
They're all together.
They're all together. So tomorrow when we come out here first thing, the light's getting low right now. You can see our shadows are really long. We can get these hung up, the ladders hung up, and then he can start on the roof stuff, and I'll just keep on bagging and finding rocks and putting rocks and dirt in places.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna take these over to the house and get them into a carton to take down to the egg booth. They're not quite a dozen today, so we'll have to wait for tomorrow's eggs to make our dozen. Our egg booth is a hit. People are taking the eggs as soon as I get them out there, and the girls are in their winter laying part right now, so it's a little less than a dozen a day. So we might have to get some more chickens. That's okay. But we've got some cool ones. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. No, probably can't see in this light. Some of them have like purple spots on them, like little speckles. They look like Easter eggs. I don't know if those are technically Easter eggers or what. We ordered brown laying hens. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna take these over and put them in a carton, walk the little dogs, get all of that going for the day. We've been transferring water today. You can see the tank is on. Been letting it gravity flow into my house tank over there. And we're gonna catch you next week. This video is getting a little long, so we'll get you next week. And I hope you're having a good one, like I said. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, share it with your friends. Hi, puppies. And join us back next week when we're here to do more stuff with bags and dirt and rocks and who knows what else. There they are. They're free.